before I delve into this one, um, can you just make sure if you've got a smartphone with you, there's going to be a little bit of interaction on this one. So if you have got a smartphone handy and your camera app, there'll be a couple of questions, virtual questions I'm going to ask. So it'll be the first time. So let's see if this one works very well. Okay, so can you all see my screen? Good, good. Okay, so I shall begin. So a little bit of background about me and my company. Our motto in everything that I do, it is always family first. It's the biggest driver of what makes me get up every day and what keeps me in work. So as you can see, there's me in the background and my wonderful wife, who we will share our 7th anniversary on the 19th of May this month. I think last month I got it wrong. I said April, but it is in fact May later on this month. And my wonderful 3 little children, 1 16, 1 6, and a little boy just turned 4. Work life is second, and sort of my sort of background is driven from a corporate background. I spent many years working for the Bank of Scotland and for the Inchcape Volkswagen Group, where I had various different roles of sorry, do you still? Right, I'm still there, sorry about that. So plenty of operations in terms of sales and operations where I manage certain processes such as FCA compliance. I used to create and monitor reporting systems for directors and uplines of Inchcape and Volkswagen teams. Which sort of led me on to my geeky brain and analytical mind about delivering services and making sure I produce great content for people that I work with. And that brought me into the world of virtual assistants back in December 2019, when I left that wonderful corporate land to give them the visa up and start my own virtual journey supporting small business owners and solopreneurs with their daily administration tasks. So what is a virtual assistant? Well, 3 key things that define what a virtual assistants are, and that is an experienced taskmaster, a key holder of time, which is one of my lovely little sizzles that I love to get out. But more importantly, this for a business owner is always, and a key thing is that we are stress reducers, giving people time back in their day, allowing them to focus on their family and their business is one massive ingredient to help reduce their stress. And one pro to VA is a remote worker who provides administrative, technical or creative assistance to businesses using technologies such as the internet, email and various different applications. So if I can just ask you to grab your phones, your smartphones, put on the phone app, and there's going to be a little scanner, that little QR in the top left-hand corner. Is just going to give you a brief little question, and I'd just be interested to learn what is the one daily task that frustrates you the most and takes forever to do. I'll leave that for a few seconds, and if this works well, then we should see some live results coming through on the screen. If not, it's all failed and I'll cancel the meeting. There we are, it's working. Yes, yes. Couple more seconds. Okay, yeah. So, usual suspects that we see, and as we expect, yeah, those normal high-level administrational jobs that, unfortunately, as business owners, yes, they are all part and parcel of the things that we have to do and operate to keep our businesses ticking over. but ultimately not all these ingredients are the things that make our businesses the money and take away such a large portion of our time. Great to see, yeah, social media seems to be the biggest, hottest topic out there at the minute, because we all need to be on social media just to keep in the present. Excellent, thank you very much for sharing those. Okay, so pretty as I sort of expected, yeah, some of those biggest time wasters that we share in our day are centered around it's sort of emails and email, data entry, customer service, social media, and data analysis and research. So on average, about 35% of every working week is lost with time wasting tasks, according to a recent Zapier and HubSpot poll. And some of these things that detract us away from our main jobs are the things that actually slow us down and ultimately, in some cases, drive the failure and closure of some of our businesses. So outsourcing these sort of tasks to a virtual assistant can provide valuable, VA who can provide valuable advice and support to help those business owners establish daily disciplines that will increase productivity, improve focus, and achieve on their business objectives. So who needs a VA? There's certain questions. Not everybody needs a VA, but over time this becomes an apparent and growing trend. So some of the key questions that you can ask yourselves as business owners are you feeling stressed? Do you feel that you're spending an increasing amount of time on non-productive tasks? Do you struggle with time management? And are there certain tasks that you need help with? Or do you have a consistent workload that always requires some additional support, but you're not quite considering that cross over the line to employ someone full-time or even part-time onto the books? Certain top tips when it comes to emails is turning off an email notification on your phone, that constant ding on your phone that's always going away. If you turn off notifications in the day and focus on only accessing an inbox 2 or 3 times a day, you can speed up your productivity and remain focused for around about another 10% of your working day. So if I can ask you again just to pull your phones out again, last little QR code on here for me. And this one is delving into why would a small business owner not use a virtual assistant? So yeah, your thoughts on the sort of angles that people would not use a virtual assistant. Yeah. Excellent, lovely. Yeah, no surprises, and probably the way I wrote this, yeah, I would have expected cost as one of the biggest driving factors, not just with a virtual assistant, but with any support and service that most business owners enter into. Lovely, thanks very much for sharing that poem. So some of those services that we, okay, so some of those services that we offer is CRM, email detox, social media engagement, data reporting, and research and development. And going further into some of our certain products, and we provide lots of different packages, from a pay-as-you-go service to outsourcing a 10-hour service. But very recent, following a recent one-to-one with somebody in the room, we've got a new Get Started package, which allows us to sort of have a mini audit of the business, reviewing the sort of processes and administrational tasks that you carry out, We'll make some recommendations and top tips in order how to stay more productive and get more time down. And we'll help implement those tasks and strategies, and provide up to 5 hours of support, helping you reshape and get organised in people's businesses. So again, if you wanted to hit there, you can read more about our little package on there. But who we are, so sort of last couple of slides, yeah. So very recently of this year, we was named as a top 100 small business from a BizBubble Award. A recent Small Business Sunday SBS winner from the wonderful Dragons down at Thetis, and equally within that BizBubble Award, we became the best B2B business finalist, which was just announced just a couple of weeks ago. So some great accolades and awards that drive and support our business and our purpose. And if you wanted to find out any more about our blogs and some top tips on how you can be more efficient and how to qualify if you needed to be a VA, or if it's time for a VA, you can click on the follow the little link on the screen now, and that'll take you to my site to read a couple of my blog posts. So that is it, and I invite over for anyone who has any questions.
That was brilliant. So I can't see everybody right now. Oh yeah, does anybody have it? You've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just have to say that, I mean, I'm kind of very apprehensive about VAs and how good they are, and, you know, yeah, all sorts of doubts and whatnot. I have to say, Rohan has done some work with me, or what, vice versa. He is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, just, yeah, relieves a lot of stress and things that I don't know. So, you know, believe it or not, I don't know everything. That was a surprise. So yeah, if you know anybody who needs a little bit of extra help, he's the man to go to for sure.
It's exactly the same. A bit of a new world. But how do you manage your time if you're juggling everybody else's kind of tasks? How do you make time for your business as well, would be my question.
It's always a great question. I was joking about this with someone a couple of weeks ago, actually, that even sometimes the VA also needs a VA.
Yeah.
No, but in truth, though, I learned this a hard way, that yes, when you fill up your diary and you concentrate on just solely doing everybody else's work, then yeah, it's another one of those fundamental mistakes that you do. I guess a couple of those tricks are, yeah, there's my processes where I've been in the past, so Lean and Six Sigma processes. I think Leon did one of these sessions not long ago for 1M. But it's all about being process driven and making sure every step that you do is smart and you do it quickly and efficiently. So yeah, I make sure that there is always a scale in my business, that time is always prioritized for my own business. So I pay myself indirectly to make sure that I keep my engagement in my business up to speed before I carry on doing anybody else's.